Hello, the people. Wildcard here. And seeing as my first impressions of Master Duel were met with pretty much no backlash, I figured I might as well check out Yu-Gi-Oh Cross Duel, the new free-to-play mobile game that just recently came out. I got as much footage as I could before the first maintenance period, so your experience may vary by the time you watch this. Anyway, here we go. Right off the bat, I should explain the first portion of gameplay was captured by M-Page via the camera glasses, so I'll just let him say some crap for this part.
Select language. American. Select country or region of residence. American. American. Who the hell is born in 1922 and likes Yu-Gi-Oh? That's what I want to know. Related to wagering or gambling. Does that mean we can't play Yu-Gi-Oh? Easter egg? So, who classes Easter egg in the same category as Trojan horses and time bombs? Pyramid scheme. Well, it didn't say multi-level marketing. I see secret relationship is back. Again, we have dueling book for that. The stupid save data thing again. Is this what Konami loves doing? They just love screwing us over by deleting our save data? And what defines a long period of time anyway? Why does virtual currency have separate terms of service?
Yu-Gi-Oh Cross Duel.
Is that Kaiba? I thought he died in Dark Side Dimensions.
Duelists worldwide, I bring you great news.
Oh my god, there's voice acting! Actual care and attention to detail went into this. Actual thought may be required in this review.
Kaiba Corp has created a new way to duel. Get ready to cross duel.
Can we cross duel on motorcycles? Well, as far as the mobile game goes, this looks pretty interesting, I guess.
The battery on the glasses died after he said that, so we switched to the screen recorder for the remainder of the playtime. After the presentation, Kaiba hands out invitations to people he deems worthy of checking out his fancy cross duel system. Not sure how I got one, but who am I to question things? Kaiba says we could pick a character to be our partner, but the game railroads us into selecting him first. I'm not going to run you through the tutorial because we'd be here forever if I did that, but I will go over the basics later on. You can select your ace monster and build a deck around it. I chose Elemental Hero Neos because GX is my favorite series of all time. And this is where we learn we can acquire material to give cards effects, which explains all those cursed images on social media of your favorite extra deck monsters as normal monsters. Another downloading of data later, I linked my account with Google Play and my Konami ID to save progress. Apparently you only have to link the Konami ID if you plan on playing on a different OS, like if you started on an iPhone and wanted to continue on an Android. Almost makes me wonder if we'll see a Switch port in the future. Anyway, you can only buy cards from the card gacha, which means it's all randomized. Any duplicates you collect can either be used as trade fodder, metal fodder, or skill slot fodder. But I didn't really dawdle on that too much because the next thing I did was go to the partner select screen to find someone to be my partner. As cool as Kaiba is, he doesn't quite fit the wildcard style, like my main man Jaden Yuki.
Hey, I saw you dueling just a little while ago, and why are you looking around like that? Curry, are you talking about Winged Karibo? Does this mean you can also hear the duel spirits? I never expected to meet a duelist who can hear them. This tournament is full of surprises. That's a nice idea. Let's do it. I'm psyched to find out how far we can get. Let's go have some fun.
I should probably explain how the game works, shouldn't I? All players start with 4,000 life points, and the goal is to have the highest life points remaining once the turn count expires or someone's life points reaches 0. Much like in a rush duel, you can make as many normal summons as you wish. Unlike rush duels, your ace monster is always in your hand at the start of the duel. Anyway, once summoning is finished and trap cards are set, we go to battle phase, which is the only time you're allowed to play spell cards because french fries. Then all monsters in attack position make their advance towards an opponent's field, stopping only at the halfway point for the occasional battle. Once they make it to an opponent's field unopposed, then and only then can they deal battle damage to them via a direct attack. And that's about all I can explain without turning this video into another tutorial. Anyway, another mode of play is the tag duel mode, which is a mode you can play against CPU players despite the game requiring you to be online all the time. What the fuck, Konami? In Tag Duel mode, you play alongside your partner against a team of characters from all your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh shows, even 7s. The rules are basically the same, except if you send a monster to your tag partner zone, you can sacrifice it for a life point boost. And they also have raid duels. Speaking of raid, this video is sponsored by Raid Shop. Just kidding. Funny. But yeah, raid duels. They're a thing. They exist. The goal is to defeat the boss duelist by destroying their boss monster. All 4 players work together to accomplish this task by sending their monsters into battle against it, hopefully destroying its items and shields and exposing its weak points for maximum damage. To me, this reminds me of the raid battles in Pokemon Go, but the difference is that the raid duels require more tactical planning and precision before and during the duel, as opposed to just picking type advantage and mindlessly tapping the screen. See, this is what I was talking about in the Master Duel video. This actually feels like a game, with personality and depth and much more to offer than simply being the card game in digital form. There's just so much positive influence here from all the different series and games and such, that it's hard for me at times to focus on any individual elements. But holy crap, I love it so much. That's why my first impressions rating for this game is a Dr. Pepper out of 10. There's so many things about Cross Duel that make it stand out when compared to Master Duel, like the voice acting, unique gameplay mechanics, the return of tag dueling. It's just so hard for me to pin down any particular element of the game that makes it definitively good. Much like Dr. Pepper, I can't discern any of the 23 individual flavors that goes into a single serving, but combining them all together sure makes for a delicious and refreshing beverage, and the same goes for this game. It definitely feels like a lot of care and effort was put into this game, and a small part of me is dreading the day Konami inevitably fucks the whole thing up. But for now, I can definitely say this is a more than decent Yu-Gi-Oh game for the modern era. And as this video draws to a close, I only have 2 questions for the makers of Yu-Gi-Oh Cross Duel. Where is Pot of Greed and what does it do?